Hi. I was visiting a really good friend of mine in hospital, and she was talking about how there's a 97% success rate with her surgery. And she was talking about how the doctors were saying it's a really, really good procedure. They do it all the time. It has a really good recovery rate, etc., etc. But there was this tiny percent, like 2 or 3%, of cases that didn't recover and didn't go well. And how interesting it is, we were just discussing how interesting it is that as human beings we often cling to that tiny, that 1% or 2% that isn't going well or that could go wrong, instead of embracing and taking up into our hearts the 97, 98% of wonderful goodness, health, wealth, things that are going well in our lives, things that are working, the support we have, the rich relationships, the fact that we always have food in the fridge and there's a roof over our head. We have a tendency to focus more on the 1% that isn't working. And I think this is across the board with humans. It must be some old negative program that I believe was actually designed to create fear, designed to create doubt, and actually put into us. I feel like it's almost like this artificial intelligence came along and inserted these fearful little germinations of doubt that make us turn to the shadow instead of turning to the light. And it's the same, it's the same with celebrities. I watched a documentary about Lady Gaga, and she was, lovely. I really like Lady Gaga. I think she's fantastic. I love what she stands for. I think she's a really artistic, talented artist. And she was saying how Madonna had said some negative things about her on camera. And I thought, wow, Lady Gaga is loved and adored by millions and millions of people. She has serious fans. She has all this abundance and amazing dream life that she's living. And you could see that these little comments by Madonna had really, she felt upset by that naturally. And I'm not judging Lady Gaga. I totally understand why you would be pissed off, especially with somebody who you looked up to. Lady Gaga definitely, clearly looked up to Madonna like the rest of us when we were kids growing up. But yeah, I just see this time and time again, and I see it in my own self. I could have everybody say good things to me, wonderful things, kind things, loving things, supportive things, but there'd be one little thing that's cruel or mean or unloving towards me, and that will get my attention, instead of actually focusing on all the good stuff. And I feel like that's something I really want to change now in my life, especially going into the new year. And in fairness, I think I have done really well in my life with that lesson. For the most part, I have been able to say, okay, whatever, that's one person who has that, hateful, jealous comment to say to me. But look at all the love in my life. Look at the rich connections and relationships and colleagues and people that actually value me. But I do find if you're feeling down or tired, or if you're a bit disheveled energetically going into new phases of life, like we are now actually with going into January, we're going into eclipse season again, so it's going to be interesting. Excuse me. I think that's when, that one little harshness from somebody who's not in the vortex, who's not coming from a place of love, that's when that can really get a grip on us, and can hit a nerve. But what I want to talk about, what I want to teach in this video is when that happens, so something is said to you that makes you feel rejected, unloved, unworthy. Instead of feeling you want to lash out at that person, remind yourself that that person is actually a teacher for you in this moment. And they're actually reflecting to you parts of yourself that you're not comfortable with and that need love. So instead of going, well, whatever, and getting upset and angry with that person and saying, who the hell are they to say that to me? And, oh, they're just jealous, they're just insecure, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. We know that. And that's true. When people are mean and express hatred, they hate themselves more than they ever could hate you. I've always known that. It's always been obvious to me that insecurity will breed criticism and judgment. And it's just a beautiful opportunity to dig deep in yourself and go, okay, well, why does that bother me? Because a part of me must feel that's true. And that's the hook. That's where they hook you. If you actually knew that you were absolutely brilliant and intelligent and valued and respected and loved and loving and lovable, those negative comments wouldn't hook you. They wouldn't affect you. If you're in a place of complete faith, of complete knowing, of complete belief that things are going to go well, that 1 or 2% of possible contrast or negative unwanted experience wouldn't hook you, because you were so invested in the positive outcome, in things going well, in things going in your favor. If you truly believe that everything is working out for you, the universe supports you, you're a child of God, and that whatever you set your mind to, you can accomplish. If you have that complete self-faith, those little things, those hooks would have nothing to hook onto. And that's what I'm talking about. It's about clearing out any of those little wobbly, meaty bits in our energy that are floating around waiting to be hooked. And the reality is those negative beliefs are waiting to be hooked because they want to be pulled out. So when someone hooks you and someone gets onto that negative belief that you're not enough, that you're not wanted, that you're not valued, and you feel that, you get that kick in the gut, that horrible gut reaction to that somebody's hurt you, rejected you, hates you, whatever. Let the hook pull out the negative belief. Let the hook take it and say, you know what? This is being pulled out so I can look at it. So it's actually revealed in the light. So I can actually go, oh, so I actually don't think that I'm valued, or that what I have to say is valuable, or I don't think I'm a good worker, or I don't think I'm enough, or I don't think that I'm lovable and deserve whatever good thing is happening right now. And to look at the negative belief and to explore it, to own it, and then to integrate it. So that it has to be integrated. You don't, there's these ideas that yes, you do uproot negative beliefs, but they have to be loved back into the wholeness of yourself. They have to be recognized for what they are. That doesn't mean we need to go digging into, go to see a psychologist for 10 years and dig up childhood bones. But we do need to be conscious and aware of our negative beliefs. We do need to know that the reason that that person rejecting me brought up such a wobbly wonder in my energy and gave me that terrible hit in my gut is because there's a part of me that agrees with them. There's a part of me that thinks that that is true. There's a part of me that doesn't feel worthy, lovable, valued, respected, fill in the gap. And to be aware of that so that when it does happen again, you can recognize that it's actually not about that other person who's spitting hate or whatever. It's actually you. It's a mirror. It's a mirror time for homework for you to go in and go, I actually don't really believe in what I'm doing. And that's why this person is actually a teacher showing me that I have to soothe and integrate these really harsh, unloving beliefs I have about myself. So, as I said, how you do it is take the hook. It hooked you anyway, because if you got the hit, if you felt that, you've been hooked. Let the hook pull up and out into the consciousness of light. Shine the light on the negative belief, because negative beliefs love to lurk in the dark. They love to stay in your shadow self, in the ego self, under the shadows, so that you can't actually resolve them. But when it comes up and out into the light, you have to own it. You have to take responsibility, you have to claim it, and you have to know that this is my belief. Nobody is forcing me to believe this. Nobody has a gun to my head and is saying, you have to believe that you're not worthy, that you're not good enough, that you're not lovable. But I have a choice now. I can choose to let this hook me and pull me into a low vibration and feel crap and get upset and cry and feel like I'm not worth anything. Or I can take this as an opportunity to say, okay, I'm actually ready to choose a different belief. I'm ready to choose the understanding that I am actually lovable and I am valued and I am wanted. And you get to transform the negative belief into a belief that actually works for you, that actually serves you and your life, that actually feels good and actually brings you closer to what you want to do. So it's about shining the light, being conscious, being aware of your beliefs. And then when things happen that are mirrors of that negative belief, you're much more in control. You're able to say, oh, I know why I attracted that person right now who was mean to me, because I've actually been really mean and tough on myself all week. I haven't given myself a break all week, so I attracted that person who's actually not giving me a break. And you're able to see it for what it is, that it's just this illusion. It's a white lie. It's a false lie that you picked up and that you put into your energy field, and you relived it so much that it became part of you. But it's actually your choice whether you have that part of you or you can replace it with something that actually does benefit you. And I'm all about beneficial beliefs. And you can be as frivolous and silly about this as possible. Like literally you can say, oh, if you don't like, I don't know, we'll take something really silly, like you could say, I don't like my nails, okay? You can just say, well, that doesn't serve me not to like my nails. So I'm going to choose the belief that I love my nails, that my nails are wonderful, my nails are strong, they're beautiful, they're whatever, they grow well, they serve me well, I can scratch really well with them. I'm just literally plucking out straws here, but the point is, when you keep saying that to yourself, eventually your consciousness accepts what you choose to believe. But again, it's just, that's the work, that is the work. It's about going into the shadows and bringing things into the light. And my friend and I were discussing in the hospital this evening how all this good news, like such a high percentage of success rate, and yet little human being, little inferior ego wants to look at that tiny little percent that could, where things could go wrong. And it seems to be the human, that it seems to be part of the programming of the fear in humans. But what I really got was that we are ready now. Heading into 2019, we're ready to leave that behind, and we're ready to have, to, as I said, to uproot those fearful ideas about things and understand that reality really is about choosing what we prefer, so in that situation, I was saying to my friend, well, you prefer to be well, you prefer to be part of the success stories, you prefer to recover and to have all your health and wealth back. You've got to be committed to that vision. And she's aware of this. She's a healer herself. She knows the score, and of course she's doing that, and she's doing great. Thank God, she's flying. But yeah, it's about commitment to the reality that you prefer, and it's about choosing beliefs and understandings that support the reality you prefer. So I hope this was helpful. Anything you want to share on that, I'd love to hear about in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and feel free to share and subscribe. Chat to you soon.